In a previous video, we saw how we could use a findBy query in Spring JPA to find all the specimens that belong to a plant. We implemented the query, but we didn't implement a user interface that would show all the specimens for a plant. So in this video, we're going to implement that user interface. We'll start by looking at our endpoint and consider how to make it a bit more flexible. Right now, it's simply returning a static page because we have it returning a string. But we can return model and view, which will allow us to return a page and pass objects to that page. Let's declare our return type at the top with model and view is the type and model and view is the variable name, and then we will change the return value to the variable model and view. We can refactor this line. Instead of returning just that string, we'll simply say model and view dot set view name, and we'll pass in the specimen details, so it will still return that same page. Additionally, let's take these specimens and make them available to that page. Model and view dot add object. Let's call it specimens and pass in the list of specimens. That's really all we need to do from our controller. Now let's take a look at the plants page. And we see that it's navigating to an endpoint right now, specimens by plant with plant ID. And sure enough, that matches exactly to our controller, so no changes needed there. But we do need to make this landing page, which we're calling specimen details. And to do that, I'll go ahead and start with the plants page that we just looked at. And there's a lot there that we can borrow, so I'm simply going to copy and paste it. And then we'll change it as needed to make it look like a specimen detail page. Right-click and paste. And we'll make sure that this name matches capitalization and everything. So, specimen details.html. Now within this, a few things that we want to change. First of all, we're going to be iterating over specimens, not plants. So let's change this iteration to specimen. And then we will have it look over the collection of specimens, which remember was provided to us in our model and view. Now, for the link is going to be fairly simple. Right now, we don't really care where this goes, so we're simply going to link it back to our start page. The bootstrap group is just fine. Now, within this, we also want to display what the specimen looks like. So, keep in mind what we're doing here. If you look at this div and you see this th each, remember that's a loop, that's iteration. So we're shaking hands with every specimen in the collection of specimens. When we shake hands, it goes to this specimen singular variable. So now we can refer to that specimen singular variable within the loop. I've restarted the application. Let's take a look at what happens. I'll search for fire as in fireweed. We should look at our second option, and if we look down below, you'll see 6351 is the unique ID. And just as we've seen before, there are 3 specimens that belong to that 6351. So our expected action here is that when I click on this, we'll see those 3 specimens. I click, and sure enough, you see specimen ID 1, specimen ID 3, and specimen ID number 15. As you see here, they match up just the same. Let's take a look at our endpoint across the top. And you see it's specimens by plant and then 6351. Just for fun, let's remove that where clause and let's try a different plant ID and confirm that we will see the specimens for that plant ID. Example, 6356 and 84. Those are a couple ones that we can look at. So let's do 6356. We get a different set of specimens. And now let's try 84. And once again, a different set of specimens. So in this video, we took a quick look at how to put together a user interface for a specimen detail page. I hope this video has been helpful, and I look forward to reading your comments. Thank you.